So I finally felt some anger in that case. But I'm giving you a broad example of how much I can kind of just be okay with things. And sometimes I just want to touch it, But
so your partner touches it with ease, though, right?
He does. And when people get angry around me, I am like, that's what's happening here. This isn't, even if he's just angry about something that's going on. He tends to get a little more angry probably at things that others wouldn't necessarily, not in a severe way, but like he can't fix the thing on the car, and he's like swearing and yelling, just like that kind of thing. And even that, even though it's sort of slightly humorous, and I know it's not, intense, because he doesn't really get angry at people in that way. Just things. Still, I'm very uncomfortable. It's like, it's okay. It's going to be fine. Why are we attaching to this thing of being upset about something?
Do you think part of what attracts you to him, though, is his ability to feel that, and your safe distance to be able to judge it in him like you do in yourself, while also having him feel it for you by proxy?
Yeah, safe distance is important. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my go-to.
So can you not judge him for providing you with that thing that you need?
I think that I could go into that. I think that this particular conversation is a bit of a doorway into that. There's just some insight around that I'm having at this very moment, that he is providing something that I might need. That's a thought.
Holding another pole. Yeah. He's holding actually that pole, and neither pole is more valuable than the other.
That's the part I've got to work with. Right. Yeah. Is that I am not, there's not a hierarchy.
You're not, if you get off the drama triangle and out of the rescuer position and accept that both of you are providing an incredibly essential energy to your dynamic, that what he's providing, his ability to feel, is just as essential as your ability to ground.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we both probably have work to do in that. Like that's part of my resistance too, is that I feel him kind of not judging me, but perhaps sort of saying, oh, you just detach, or you don't, you're just always, everything's always fine, that sort of thing. And because I'm used to that from humans through my life. And I think there's that, the more that happens, the more I retreat into that very thing, Is
it the more you choose people who will give you that opportunity to retreat?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the tough part of that, isn't it? It's like, oh, this thing again that I chose.
Exactly. And this happens to be a person who actually, for the first time, can really sit with all this stuff and provide that, and wants to. I've been with many partners, usually artists, musicians, like very much that's, their brain is in this sort of soupy Piscean thing. And so they just go off into their own world. Like that's how they cope with all of this. And then there's more detachment between us. There's more distance. But with this person, he is more, he wants to go there. So I have that opportunity. I have an opportunity clearly laid out in front of me. But I've got to get through my own little.
Well, the hose isn't very useful without the water, and the water just makes a fucking mess without the hose. So it sounds like you guys actually have a great polar pair set up there, if you could bear witness to each other instead of judging each other.
Would seem so. I hear it. I feel it all the time, and then I go back and I'm like, oh my God, it's so much easier to be alone.
Easier said than done.
Like, come on. But I crave intimacy on some level. I'm sure it's there,
Oh, Jesus. Is that so? So you have those same basic human yearnings that everyone has?
apparently I am a human being, and I always thought I was some other sort of creature, but
a messy, sloppy human being full of yearning and mess and beauty. And oh my God, no, not that.
Must be perfect.
That's so inconvenient.
I know.
Oh, so
okay. All right. I get it.
So, but you do love being the container, and that's a beautiful pole to hold. Like being the hose is great. We need, like, that's necessary. And can you not judge yourself for that? And like not set yourself up to be judged for that. This is the self-compassion piece again of like, yeah, I'm a fucking amazing container. And then I can actually access my yin. I can actually access my feminine. I can actually be at ease in the feminine by being able to do that completely for another person. And then I can relax to the point where I can be replenished. But I'm going to honor that I have those yang impulses of being the container. Mm-hmm. And that I am choosing people who fill that container beautifully, fill it to overflowing, and I can hold that. And that's then how I can come through that portal to that inner Hyros Gamos to find the yin complement to that yang inside myself by honoring the fact that yang is my first impulse. Mm-hmm. And that it's a beautiful thing to be a feminine embodiment who has that first yang impulse, and to just know that and love that and be that so completely. I mean, you're already being it. So like loving it and like not judging yourself or anyone else for you being that, and knowing that that's going to draw in that your way of being in the world is attracting people who will fill it. So don't resent them for filling it with their liquid, sloppy stuff. You know, like, if you're putting a bowl out there, there's going to be soup in it. You know, like,
I just need a napkin. I need a lot of napkins. Okay, just cloth.
Taste of baby wipes.
Cloths, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, something nearby. Perhaps that's where I start.
Maybe.
Yeah. What can clean up the mess?
But like loving that the mess is delicious. The mess is nourishing.
Yeah. Well, I did start eating with my fingers.
Oh, good.
Since I met him, I have been eating with my fingers. Like pretty much most things, unless it's soup, I guess would be a good example. It's just not possible. But and so that's been very freeing. So I think that's actually created just even that feeling of saying, I don't have to conform to this perfection that's been created in my mind. Here I go, you know. So eating with your hands, is there sensuality in that for you that feels really good? A little bit. I guess sensuality. Yeah, sure. It's a connection to myself where I feel like I'm loving myself. I'm okay with something. I'm not disconnecting with a fork or a spoon, because those are clearly the tools of disconnection. Cutlery is the problem. Cutlery, no. What are they actually called? What are forks and spoons? Is it called cutlery?
Flatware, cutlery.
Flatware, yeah. Silverware was the word I was thinking of, but it's not necessarily silver. But I think that is actually a metaphor for internally what is happening. You know, in a sense that there's a part where I take something and I put it between my feelings and my self and my action, and it
receptivity.
It keeps it detached. So that piece actually is interesting. I hadn't thought of that before. So there's a connection being made there. A
more intimate connection.
Yeah, with myself, essentially.
Well, yourself and nourishment.
Mm-hmm. Self-compassion. There it is.